Are you familiar with the plain striders? Useless animals. Can't fly, gamey, brain the size of my knuckle, too dim to get out of the way of a moving cart. I've broken more axles thanks to their thick skulls. Sometimes I think the Quillboar intentionally frighten a flock of them onto the path of our caravans just prior to an ambush. Make me proud. You can swath through these filthy birds to keep the roads free and bring me their beaks as proof.
Go with honor.
Alright, kill some plain striders too. Seems there aren't that many around. Let's go to the Quillboar first then. Zhavra. It's like a zebra except it has a unicorn horn. And here's another quest. Help me, rogue. Filthy pigmen burn stables. Fire, fire. Dorak wails incoherently before you can settle him down. Wolves still chained inside. Someone's got to save the wee wolves. Alright, saving wolves. That's 1. 3. Orcs use wolves as mounts.
What?
You save the wolves, you so brave. Someday maybe you get a wolf just like that to ride. Dorak looks over at the burning stables, then at the nearby river. What should I do now? So we get a cloak or some boots, agility or stamina, or oh, we get 1 additional armor at the cloak, so let's take that one. Nice new cape. Kinda weird that he doesn't have a follow-up. Seems like kind of a weird one-off quest. They're all dead. Oh, no, there's one. Level up, level 14. We have learned a new ability called Sap. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Sap. It costs 35 energy and its melee range. Incapacitate a target not in combat for 1 minute. Only works on humanoids, beasts, demons, and dragonkin. Damage will revive the target. Limit 1. This is used to temporarily disable a single target, so hypothetically, let's say there's 2 targets and you can't take both at the same time, and they're really close together, so when you start attacking one, the other one will walk over. You sap one, then attack the other one until it's dead. Then you can stealth again and start attacking the second one without, you know, doing them one at a time. I will add this to my macro. What am I doing? It needs to be sap. So, now what will happen? When we press the pick knife button, it will target my mouse over, then it will cast Sap and Pickpocket, or if we're not in stealth, Poison Knife. Now the reason I can do 2 skills at the same time is because both of these skills are off global cooldown, I think. Actually, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure I can do both of these at the same time. Let's kill one of the Planestriders. Maybe I should start combo finishing at 4. Because we seem to reach 5 combo points and then the target's already dead. Almost. To be honest, I think it's a better tactic. Especially for these plunderers and the other kinds of boars, because these run away when they get low on health. Killing them a little bit too quickly there. Our sap wasn't off cooldown yet and we got our first bee. Actually, let's try the macro. Yep, I sapped him and I pickpocketed him. Might have noticed that my 5 combo points eviscerate takes priority over my garrote. Just like intended. So few beaks. Also, we're kind of outside the questing area. You know, that garrote's really doing a lot of damage. .48 damage every 2 seconds. Got a cape of owl. We get intellect and versatility, stats that don't do anything for a rogue. Well, the intellect doesn't do anything for a rogue. Which means that half of the reasons to equip this cloak are useless. Versatility is okay, it makes you attack, it makes you do more damage and take less damage at the same time. It's usually well, it started out as a PvP stat. Now, depending on your class, versatility might even be good even if you're playing PvE. Let's see, these linen cloths we're gonna send over, and this cape we're gonna send over. Occasionally you can get some pretty large sums of gold for these weird low-level items. Well, there's nothing weird about the items, it's just weird that you get so much gold for it. Although only occasionally. Alright, so as you saw right there, I still had a debuff and I managed to hit him anyway. That's because when you take damage you leave stealth, but dots like that don't continuously deal damage. They deal damage every 2 seconds, 5 seconds. So, depending on when you go into stealth, you might have 4.999 seconds of stealth before you actually lose it. And yeah, it was kind of a gamble, but I mean, we had good odds. We were only like a second and a half away from the guy. So few mobs. And they're all the hunter types with the wolves. Paladin over there. Their signature yellow attacks are really telling. They usually open by throwing their shield and it leaves like a yellow trail. You don't usually see rogues open because they're stealthy. It's kind of weird. Like, you kill a plain strider, it's clearly a bird, but then it doesn't drop a beak. Was that bird just beakless? $22 copper. Also, if you sap something before you kill it, you get additional loot. It's not like you still get the loot you would have gotten from sap if you just kill it. 20 copper. However, you do lose energy from doing that. So you have to, if you want to start your fight optimally, have to wait a second before your energy to refill. Next skill at level 16, but we get a trait at next level. So basically you have these talents, right? And these are all different kinds of playing a rogue. So assassination usually revolves around the idea that you stab something with poison, and then the poison does lots and lots of damage, and your bleeds do a lot of damage too. And subtlety is usually constantly dipping in and out of stealth, quote unquote. It's semi-stealth. It's called Shadow Dance. And yeah, doing all kinds of damage from out of stealth that way. And then you also have Outlaw. I don't really play Outlaw, but usually it seems like you just play like you would expect a pirate to do. He also has quote unquote range attacks, like with hidden pistols and stuff, and you can roll the bones to get a buff. You've done well, and those insolent Quillboars will finally learn that the might of the Horde is not to be ignored. Accidental rhyming? Pigmen running amok right on the border of Durotar, not on my watch. It is as they say, the best defense is crushing all who oppose you. That might be the orc version of that saying. One of my scouts followed the Quillboar after my last caravan raid, so we know where to strike. Kreenig Snarlsnout is the mastermind behind the attacks along the river. Crush him, defeat him, and disembowel his forces so that the attack on this camp cease. Search for a Quillboar-infested cavern along the river just south of our stables. I think we've already spotted that if you paid attention.
Strength.
We still need a Plain Strider beak, but we also have another quest.
Greetings.
Whatever has happened in the Southern Barrens is causing some of the Quillboar tribes to flee in our direction. The displaced Razormane in particular grow desperate and their attacks grow bolder. I've lost 2 caravans this week alone. Our warriors at the crossroads desperately need those supplies, and I'm not about to let Quillboars grow fat off their misdeeds. Find the missing supply crates and bring them to me. I'd searched the Quillboar hovel south of here along the river.
Go forth to victory.
So yeah, that's 2 things to do in the same area. You'll find that that usually is what happens. There we go.
Strength and honor.
Very good. That's one less thing to worry about on the road. Oh, looks like we're out of rested XP. Once the XP bar turns purple again instead of blue, you lose the additional XP you get from sleep, well, quote unquote, logging out in a city or an inn. I also think I forgot to set my Hearthstone. Dranasharar's Blockade. I think that's right outside Orgrimmar. Like in front of the gate where we landed in Durotar. Being inside the Orgrimmar Inn is probably going to be more convenient. So as you can see, the zones have level ranges. But they recently changed it so that you now can level in pretty much any zone as long as you have the minimum requirement. As you can see, like the zone we're in right now is from level 10 to 60. Used to be this was from 10 to 20 or something. And then you had to go from a level 20 zone to a level 30 zone somewhere else. Now you could just pick any of the zones you have the minimum requirement for. And it goes to 60 because that's when vanilla leveling was at maximum. After you've done the vanilla stuff, the next expansion you play, their zones will also work like that. So that means you don't technically out-level the zone anymore, because everything else scales with you. As you can see, I'm level 14. Zebra's level 14. The Quillboar are level 14. Before we leveled, the Quillboar were level 13. So it's like that old comic where the guy has to roll up a rock on a hill, and when he reaches the top it rolls back down. But he's happy about it because every time he reaches the top he gets a new level, and the rock, which gains him more strength, but the rock also gets heavier. Yeah, that hunter's gonna snipe that crate. Well, snipe. Melee attack power reduced. Must have used an AoE. See, this is something hunters can do. They can let their pet distract the mobs and then they loot the crates. Rogues can't do that even though we can stealth. When we start interacting with a crate like that, we unstealth. Then again, hunters don't have stealth, so they can't just sneak past hordes of enemies. And that one just spotted us. We didn't even get to use our skulls. Cannot use stealth or invisibility. Wow, that's mean. It's like our core mechanic, man. I was hoping to get behind the line of sight before he cast the spell, but it wasn't. I missed. Oh well. Why does he sound like a... like a machine? You can smell our Pandaren stench from here. We get... oh, we already had a recipe for an alchemy thing, and we get a cloth armor. Which is not leather, so we won't equip it. There, now he stands still. I managed to get him before he spawned, before he cast his dot that prevented us from stealthing. Wow, we're taking a lot of damage. We got silk cloth. Wonder what, like, why are we taking so much damage? We've only had one crate so far, by the way, so we have a lot of catching up to do. But at least we've done all the thorn weavers we need. We got it first. Might need to improve the spawn rate of these crates. Either that or I'm looking in the wrong places, but this isn't a very large cave, so... Oh, there's one up top. I probably won't make it in time though, unless he jumped down. I don't see him. There's two up top. Let's just zap him, we've already killed this guy. If you get too close to someone who's sapped, he can still aggro you. Follows the stealth rule, except so you don't have to be invisible. One more defender and one more crate. Let's go camp this spot. Shouldn't be long now. Told you. And now one more defender. There's a defender up top. Oh, and there's another one on the way to the top. Huh? Why was there an ice effect? Either way, we got a shield, and we're done with the quest. Took a bit of falling damage, but Pandaren are bouncy. You take half falling damage. Racial passive. We also have a racial skill called Quaking Palm, which incapacitates a target for 4 seconds and turns off your attack. It lasts for... it has a 2-minute cooldown, so you can't use it very often. But it's pretty useful in target situations where there's many targets and you really need that additional mini sap. And there's also Inner Peace, which is just get more rested experience. Which isn't all that special because you'll reach max level soon enough. But what is interesting is Gourmand. Oh no, wait. That's another racial passive that just increases our cooking. What is interesting is Epicurean. Your love of food allows you to receive 100% more of the stats from well-fed effects. So let's say another rogue, an orc rogue for example, eats a thing that gives him 100 agility. If we eat the same thing, we'll get 200 agility. Personally, I think racial skills are kind of BS, but... Cut off the head of their leader and chaos ensues. Learn this lesson well, it will aid you in the future. Well done. Without Kreenik to orchestrate the raids, my grunts should be able to keep Farwatch secure. Your people should be proud to count you among them. Have you get a belt with agility on it? How goes your search for the supplies? I trust the Quillboar fall under your strength easily. Haha, thank you. This will help us greatly. It'll get the supplies packed up and on their way to the crossroads immediately. Alright, so there's one other quest done. Helga Grimm's disarmingly holding up an enormous firearm. Have you ever used one of these? It's a beast. Hella with a hand grip. Too heavy to use on foot, but perfect when riding at the head of a caravan. I call it my street sweeper. We need to get those supplies you've collected to the crossroads and I expect trouble. I'd like for you to ride shotgun, literally. Say the word and you're ready. Say the word when you're ready and I'll put you at the head of our next caravan.